Hey guys, Reggie here, still riding. Still haven't gotten that far down the road. But I figure if I'm riding, I might as well do some talking. So, I guess I would like to talk about cruiser motovloggers. Or motovloggers. I don't know, a video vlog. Motovloggers. I find it really weird that there aren't that many out there, at least that I know of. And I wonder if that's because most cruisers guys, I'm going to assume, are Harleys, or if it has something to do with technology, or the fact that most people who vlog are a lot younger. I wonder what the demographic on that is. It's interesting. A lot of red and black going on there. I wonder what the demographic is on that. You know, it's just weird to me that, I mean, I've been watching motovlog videos and for a year or two now, and I did find one guy that motovlog, and he did it on a Honda Shadow. I think it was a 1300. But he doesn't really post that much. He hasn't posted in a year. But it's really weird how most of the guys are on either dual sports, scooters, you know, sport bikes, supermotos, but not a lot of cruiser vloggers. I've always wondered why that is. I mean, my reason for riding a cruiser is not for any flash or anything. I think I'm more in line with someone who would like to be on a, I always thought I'd want to be on a sport bike, just because I'm more into sporty things. I ended up with a cruiser because I needed something that was not necessarily comfortable per se, but something that was comfortable for my spouse. And that's how I ended up with this, with being on cruisers. If I was single, I'd probably have a sport bike. I'd probably be doing this from a, let's see, what sports bikes do I like? Probably doing this from a CBR or R6, or even a Kawasaki ZX. Not a big fan of the Suzuki GSXR, styling purposes, but it's just so weird to me that there aren't a lot of motovloggers that are cruiserizers, and if they are, I would love to, you know, add them and follow them and get their perspective on stuff. You know, because I could ride just as fast. What am I saying? I can't ride this fast. I can ride just as reckless as one on this as I could on that. Or, I mean, I can't do wheelies and stuff, but you know, it just makes me wonder why it is that it just seems to me that the majority of them are either on sport bikes or dual sport supermotos. So if you know a bunch of people that are following one, I would love to know and follow you and watch your videos if you are on cruisers. Because I feel like maybe there's a stigma with you know, cruisers and gear and full face helmets. I mean, I did a video on why, you know, I don't wear gear all the time, and as you can see, I'm wearing gear right now because, you know, I'm riding on the highway. But I think a lot of cruiser guys don't wear full face helmets, trust me. I know it's because I get funny looks when I wear my helmet from other cruiser guys. I mean, in the state of Florida, as long as you carry a certain amount of insurance, you don't even have to wear a helmet. So, you know, most cruiser guys don't wear a lot of gear. And I say most, but that's kind of skewed to what I've seen. So I can't really say most and be, you know, 100%. It's just based on, you know, what I've seen from cruiser guys. The sucky thing is, or the awesome thing is, I like all types of bikes. I mean, I have no problem with any type of bike. I would love to ride more than just cruising. I've ridden, the bikes that I have ridden have been Kawasaki Ninja 600, an older one, before they redesigned them, like the one with like the square headlights. And that only rode around a parking lot, didn't give it gas or anything. I'd never ridden a motorcycle before. The second bike that I rode was the bike that I did my MSF course on, which was a Suzuki GS 50 or 125. I don't know. Tiniest heck, it was a cruiser. And the reason they put me on it was they said, well, I told the instructor I'd never ridden bikes before, except a bicycle. And he thought it would be the best bike because it was lower to the ground. Granted, I could sit on the back seat and be just as comfortable because it was way too small. But you know, I mean, I was learning. The third bike I rode was my first bike that I owned, which was a Honda VLX 600. You know, it had like 59,000 miles when I bought it, which was just insane. Ran great. This dude looks like he's blowing up. And I'm pretty sure he's burning oil, dude. Anyway, and where was I going with that? I rode that bike for a while. I liked it. The third bike I've ever rode was, actually I rode two bikes. I rode a Hyacin 250, and that was the full fairing one. You know, clip-ons, the whole nine, and I loved it. You know, even for a 250, I mean, just that tuck down, you know, over the handlebar feeling. The weight, because the front end isn't raked out like on cruisers, and the way you sat on it, I felt like I could control it. I could do figure eights. I could do all kinds of stuff that I couldn't dare even do on this thing, because this thing's like a freaking, it's like riding a freaking walrus whose back is covered with oil, you know, and you're trying to stay on it. I mean, that's how bad it is at slow speeds. It's maneuverable, but it's still a heavy bike. And then I rode a Ninja 250, which I love riding that. And I mean, it lugged me around, and I like that. Hell, I rode that thing 80 miles an hour all the way down I-4. You know, that thing was fun to ride. I mean, that thing was super flickable and even lighter than the highest thing. You know, granted, that had more of a standard sitting position, but I still like riding that bike. And then I rode a 1500 version of this that I didn't buy, and this bike, which is the 1600, which is the 2007. Oh, I'm just laying by myself. So if I, you know, had to pick a type of bike to own for myself, it would probably be a sport bike. Now with owning a sport bike, there are inherent risks. And all these risks have nothing to do with the power or anything like that. There's the attention it brings, the risk of getting pulled over, the assumption you're always speeding no matter what, because of the stigma that comes with those bikes. So, but I would still love to own one. Maybe one day I can convince the wife to let me add another bike to the fleet and add one to the collection, and it would be awesome. Probably after a sport bike, the next style of bike that I really love are supermotos, like a DRZ 400. Those things are really cool looking. I love the profile, the way they sit and everything. That would probably be the next style of bike below that I would love to own. And then dual sports like right after that. What the heck is up with this helmet today? Oh. Other than, where was I? Other than those styles of bike, I guess then down on the list would be a standard, and then below that would be a cruiser, which is funny, because then cruisers end up being the last style of bike that I would like to ride, and that is what I own. Cruisers are appealing to me, but I hate chrome. I don't know what it is, I just don't like it. Never have, never will. If I had it my way, all this would be blacked out, just because that's my only other option besides chrome. A blacked out cruiser, like a Sportster, or even this, like the latest ones of these with the flat black and white coloring, and blacked out handlebars and whatnot instead of the chrome. I would take that over a chromed out bike. I just don't like chrome. It's a pain to maintain. It's a pain to maintain, and I just don't like it. I don't know. Maybe because I associate chrome with old people, but I'd be the only cruiser guy out there de-chroming my bike. I feel like I'm in the minority, but I would de-chrome it. I would just slowly but surely pull more and more chrome off this thing, because I'm just not a fan of it. Like I said, I like this bike because of the power and everything, but if I was going to get a bike to be like my daily rider or go everywhere with, I would probably get a Supermoto. And if I was going to get one that was going to ride more frequently without this fast, then it would be a sport bike. Even a standard. And when it comes to engine configurations, I've actually never ridden anything but twins. So I actually have no idea what the feeling is to ride an inline 4 or inline triple, or the closest I came was a parallel twin with the Ninja 250. But I mean, that's still a twin. So just to feel the power difference would be really cool. Maybe I can make a couple motorcycle buddies that have one, and they'll let me take theirs for a spin. But until then, it's a twin all the way. Anywho, I think I'm going to go now because I still haven't worked on an outro. So I'll just say this: Reggie signing out.